So here's a funny story, Teravision. Of course, all right, I love Teravision because we knew when we did Teravision, all the cast, Garrett, Graham, Mary Warnov, Jonathan Grice, we all knew it was a parody of the 80s. But we did it in the 80s. It was like 89, but we knew it was, or 87. It was so funny, but we knew we were making fun of the 80s in it. I purposely had a Valley voice because oh my God, we knew what the Valley was from 1982. So oh my God, that kind of voice.
Oh my God, gross me out.
Gross me out. Yeah. I'm going to make you take your pills. So all those that kind of fun voice was, it was look like a punk rocker, have the Cyndi Lauper look, have that fun Valley voice and combine it all into one. And when it came out, we thought this film was going to be a hit. We thought people would go crazy and they were going to get it. But just like I said before, people, the progressiveness of this country is very slow. It's meaning that, people all over the country almost I think they live in different time periods. Some people live in the 50s, some people live in the 20s, some countries, New York is ahead, but it's also, there's a sense of history. California lives in the future, some places in the Midwest live in the 50s. It's different times. The Amish, they live in the Amish period,
So me.
right, every place lives in a different time period. So when you see a movie, when they see the movie, it's when they experience the this time, what's going on. So with Teravision, we thought everyone would get it. Well, so many people thought the film they just thought, oh, it's poorly acted because it was over the top, but it was supposed to be over the top. That's the style.
Right.
It was like cartoon, but audiences weren't caught up with that. Oh, we get that yet. They didn't understand something they thought it was poorly acted as opposed to hilarious. So a joke. So anyway, or a parody of that times, because maybe they were still living in that period, you have to learn the period before it could be funny. So now I think all audiences get it. You look back and you go, oh, that's hilarious that the workout outfits and the I am the hot guy, watch it, whatever played Garrett played the
swingers.
low. Right. So now we get the humor. So sometimes I think films have to, they have to be in the social world for a while before we get them. And thank goodness for the internet. Thank goodness. If we didn't have the internet, I wouldn't be sitting here. We wouldn't be talking about these movies, and people wouldn't be passing them down. And I agree. Not every film's going to be passed down. So I love Teravision. It was such a fun movie to shoot. We were in Rome, and we shot it in Rome, of all places. You would never guess, but we were inside this studio. And the air conditioning kept dying, and we were all in this full makeup with costume and a monster, a real monster, that was dripping with goo, and it kept dripping, and it was we would turn the air conditioning on when we were shooting, turn it off, turn it on when we're not shooting, so everything get patted down. Then we're shooting, you have to turn it off because you can't have the sound. We're all sweating, the monster's dripping. There's no voice of the monster, there's just people moving it in the background, and we're reacting. The voice came in later, so it was a trip to do. And I, shooting like a machine gun. When do I, innocent Karen, get a chance to shoot a machine gun? I was like, oh my God, this is so much fun, and I have to say it was fun. And
your
just
clothes and hair in that movie was awesome.
It was great.
Such fun stuff.
Oh, it was so much fun. And I was very happy to see some people dressing it for Halloween like it too. Some, great and good, not even make Halloween, just great makeup inspiration. Great. I think it's great. And that doesn't have to be for Halloween is what I'm saying. Right. It's a great look. It's a great look. So thank you for loving Teravision. I don't know.
Do you have any memories of working with Garrett Graham on that film? Because I'm a big Garrett Graham fan too.
Oh God. First of all, Mary and I were laughing so hard every time he did something. We were going, oh my God, because she had worked with him before, and I'd never worked with him before, but he is he's the nicest guy. Like, he's a really sweet guy, but
Mhm.
he's also, I don't know. He commits so much, and he just kind of improvises and just goes with the flow. So it was entertaining to watch him, but also fun to act with him. And we all knew our characters really well, which made, I think, the director and writer director, oh my God, my brain,
Ted Nicolau.
Ted Nicolai.
Yeah.
Ted,
Nicolau.
right. Ted was so happy to see us all working. I mean, he had a smile on his face. I mean, it's so great to see the writer. See, I've worked with a lot of writer directors. Those are the best, because writer directors, it's like they've created their baby and now they want to show you, how they want to see it. So if you're a writer and then you're a director separate, there's a more like, you're interpreting what the writer wanted. So with Better Off Dead, he's the Savage. Steve Holland was the writer director. Ted was the writer director, and just there's a little bit more love that goes into it, and I could just see him smiling when he saw us all together acting, because he was like, "Oh, this is how I imagined it, only better, even better." Right? He's in his head. So he was a joy to work with. Great.
To see more clips just like this, be sure to subscribe to the Region Free YouTube channel, and also check out the Patreon to get exclusive content and become a Regionaire.